Hello my fellow donuts and welcome back to Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Let's continue. We're about to start chapter 2. Yeah, so let's do it. I'm curious what's gonna happen. Oh, the epic music's just gone. Well, so much for a fun evening at home. The knights came and crushed our party. They were shouting all about the witch and witch trial. Talk about coming out of left field. Don't know what you mean by that. They arrested Isabella and dragged her to the courthouse under suspicion of being one of those witches they mentioned. And if she's found guilty, oh, you know, they'll only throw her into a pit of fire. They're joking, right? I don't think so. They just killed a person right before we entered the trial, so I think they're pretty serious about that. Well then, we will now continue with the trial of Spella Cantabella. These again. I already forgot about them, it's been a while. Oh boy. A group of witnesses huddling up before a joint testimony in a witch trial. You can't make this stuff up. Inquisitor Barnum, if I may ask you a question. Yes, my lord? We now have 5 witnesses on the stand, so I must ask, why was this obnoxious-looking man left out of your initial group of witnesses? That I would like to know too. This judge seems to be more smart than anyone before this game. I mean, judges are quite silly in Phoenix Wright series games. I mean, Ace Attorney series. Bold is right, Barnum. That's just cold-blooded. Some guy. I love how the music is all upbeat when they show him. I have a feeling there's more to this character than it looks like. There's but one reason, my lord. I did not know this witness even existed. Oh, now you suddenly do. No? Huh? You, sir, failed to come forward. When we were asking for witnesses for this very trial, you were nowhere to be seen. He was probably drinking. Wait, is that I thought it was a beer. Is that a milk? Anyway, that's cause I didn't hear a peep about it. I ain't usually around at night, except for maybe at Rogue's Tavern. So, you're basically telling us that you were up all night drinking. That's the best thing to do at night. Anyway. It's all water under the bridge now, as far as I'm concerned. Just leave the rest to yours truly. Har 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 har. Har! Okay. During the last interrogation, the defender brought forth some surprising proof. Namely, that there was little possibility the accused could have used magic. I have never heard such a claim. It would be the doing of this logic, which is pretty close to magic. Huh? What rubbish. Logic, you say? I ain't got a clue what that is. Yeah, because you long lost that thing. But I do know that this baker ought to head back to the bakery. That's none of your business, sir. Eloquently sad. Oi, Gramps, give me and me partners over here a chance to speak. You wanna know how this witch managed to be holding that skipper, don't ya? Still didn't check how to pronounce that word, so sorry about that. Oh, when you say Gramps, you wouldn't mean me, would you? I fail to see anyone else meeting such a description. He looks angry right now. Well, we'll show you she's a witch. I'll bet Snow is beautiful whale coat on it. Okay. On it. On guard. We'll see. Oh, they're talking again. That's not the way the trial's supposed to go. Alright, team, let's do this, witness. But then again, if you play Attorney series, it's just usually a bizarre way how trials are going. Okay. They're all serious now. Yes, well, let us proceed with the testimonies. Why do I feel like I've totally lost control of this situation? Because you pretty much did. I don't think you ever had control. Here, it's just impossible. It's clear as day. Espala is a witch. We are not baking down in this. Baking. When she dropped the lantern, the scepter was not yet in her hands. The scepter must have been hidden by magic and carried on her back. The rogues grabbed her by the hand that held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that scepter. That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's kept magic stick. I didn't understand a word. So she had the witch's scepter behind her back. She then dropped the lantern and reached for the scepter after it fell. Is that the case? Then it must have been possible for the accused to have used magic. I don't follow. This is bad. You don't say. Thanks to this guy, now all the witnesses seem extra determined to pin this thing on a spell. They each harbor a shared anger towards witches and magic. Such is the cause of their strong desire to see a guilty verdict passes as quickly as possible. Past. However, such confidence, I can't read, is undoubtedly bound to cloud their better judgment and thinking. Yeah, but no one cares about that here, because it seems everyone's are clouded behind all that. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think these guys mean any real harm, but they don't mean any real harm? They're ready to kill the poor girl, accuse her, which is ultimately gonna lead to her death, without really knowing the truth? That is damn... I don't know, I don't even know what word to use here. And look at these guys' brows. They're all riled up. They don't even realize how distorted their idea of what happened tonight has become. At least that's how it seems. This isn't good, Professor. The witnesses aren't thinking straight. They're completely blind to the truth. Sir Baker, brother Sir Wright. Yes? You do not appear to be a mere simple baker. That much is clear. I don't think it relates to the case. On the other hand, you are no ordinary defender either. Never before has a defender managed to clash and do battle with me here, on this battlefield, as an equal. He calls me equal? Well, that's honor, actually. Sir Blue Knight, this trial has not yet been decided. If there is any doubt in your interrogation, I will not hesitate to strike your case down where it stands. We'll see. I understand. He's so calm. Defender, please begin your interrogation. Starting with this girl, huh? Okay. It's clear as day. Spella is a witch. Oh, right. She already said that. I really don't know what to do, so what I'm gonna do is just press on every damn thing. Not backing down, you say? Uh-huh, that's right. Spella is a witch. That's our story and we're sticking to it. So you're basically saying it's just a made-up story and you're sticking to it? Like, is this girl serious right now? This is a courtroom, Miss Kira. We are not interested in your story. We're interested in the truth. You know what I think? I think stories have the power to touch our souls, lives, in really meaningful ways. What's that supposed to be? Last year, I read a book about a flower girl who brought peace to the world with all the pretty flowers she sold. How? Because of that story, now I tell myself, Kira, one day you'll fill the world with beautiful flowers of your own. But they do not belong to you. You just said that you are selling it for someone else. That story inspires me to sell more flowers. It's pretty much the same as this trial. What? Are you... What drugs you use, girl? What a very touching story. Everyone is just insane here. Indeed, I have heard nary a truer story, truer tale. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Blue Knight? Maybe it's just me, but I'd have preferred something a little more relevant. Me too. I'm afraid our logic may do us no good here. Let's move on to the next witness. Yeah, I guess. She drove the lantern. The skipper was not yet in her hands. He was behind her? You guys said something like that. No matter how many times we ask. You still say you didn't see the skipper, huh, Grams? I ask you, youngling, were you paying attention to this trial? Yeah, it's my job. Well then, magic made the skipper invisible, did it not? That is my old age clouding my vision, has nothing to do with it, anything. The skipper actually vanished. No. What I'm saying is, if it really was invisible, you wouldn't be able to actually prove it. Well, yeah, he has a point. You wouldn't be able to prove it. I mean, if it's invisible, you can't even tell if it's there. Not so young, man. We can prove it. The girl is a witch. There is your proof. What? So, my old age clouding up. My memories has nothing to do with anything. The skipper magically vanished, you see. Okay, get it. We get it. When the lantern fell, you claim the skipper was still not in her hand yet, so that means... I'm lost. Hidden by magic and carried on her back.
Hold it!
The witch's scepter was behind her back. Well, it's like my little snowflake here. Whenever my darling gets too heavy, I hoist him up and carry him on my back. You mean your baby goat, right? Yes. There isn't a cuter little goat in this entire courtroom, right, precious? This thing, it looks like it's just asking, please kill me. Look at those poor thing eyes. Seriously. I know it's been it's been asked already, but you didn't see the witch's scepter, did you? Well, no, but It must have been made invisible by the magic and then put on her back. You know, Snowy is still such a tiny little thing. If I put him on my back, you can hardly see him. You know what? I need to check something first. You need this to cast spells, right? And available spells depend on the magic gems. We here have white and red. Oh, it's white. Oh, right. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant "I'm near" to make it reappear. If Scavenger is visible now, who said this magical word to make it reappear? I don't think they heard it anything like that. I hardly see the point of that comment. So the accused grabbed the witch's scepter after the lantern fell? The rogues grabbed her by the hand, then held the lantern, so she must have had another way of holding that. Which way? Are you alright? What? Why? Why? Well, for one thing, you're hiding behind that, what I assume is a shield. Well played, Blue Knight. You managed to see through my steel guard technique. Your steel what technique? Guard. You tried to penetrate the depths of my mind and deceive me once with your witchcraft words. But you will find your words are futile against the strength of my shield crafted from wood, harder than steel. Now then, have at you. Attack me if you dare. Are you stupid? No. Just listen a second. Looking at this sketch, it's quite clear the accused could not have held the scepter at the same hand carrying the lantern. Witness, explain to the court just how the accused held the scepter. That's easy. The girl just put the bucket down on the ground and picked up the witch's scepter. Really? Let's check out. Well, actually that is possible, I think. She put the milk bucket down? That's right. Reckon if she did that, she'd have no problem holding that thing.
Objection.
But none of the other witnesses have said anything about seeing her put the bucket on the ground. But no one said a thing about not seeing her put the bucket down either, right? She looks more, I don't know, her eyes look like.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Mary. Huh? You mean Snowy and me? I think I lost my voice. Just a moment. Okay, I think I should be good. Tell me, what do you think of the witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now. That must be how it happened. The girl probably placed the milk bucket on the ground, yes.
Objection!
Miss Mary, you did not mention anything to that effect in your previous testimony. And yet you clearly stated that the one thing you were specifically focused on more than anything else was the milk bucket. Ergo, you should be able to confirm to the court whether or not the bucket really was placed on the ground.
Objection!
There's no mud on the bucket, though. One's memory is not flawless, Sir Blue Knight. Something like that, you should remember, though. She picked the bucket, after all. Pay attention to what the witness was saying. The accused probably placed the bucket on the ground. There is possibility such was the case. Yes, that's right. Isn't it, my little cuddle pumpkin? I knew it. There's something fishy about her testimony, but indeed, it would seem we require a decisive piece of evidence if we are to expose the contradiction in this witness's testimonies. Yeah, I just have to think of what that could be. What exactly you mean? Am I supposed to press something? Present, I mean? I need to save the game first. It's actually crazy. We're almost 11 hours into the game. Can you even imagine this? Okay.
Hold it!
Maybe I have to...
Objection!
Let's try... maybe ask someone else?
Hang on!
I might ask everyone else, I guess. Excuse me, Miss Kira. Huh? Yes? What is it? Tell me, what do you think of this witness's testimony just now? The accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now. Why, you're right. How odd. Everyone must have simply forgotten, myself included. Huh? But yeah, Espella definitely did put that milk bucket down. That way, she was able to easily grab her scepter and use magic. Easy peasy, right? Covered in mud, but the bucket is not covered in mud, so I'm curious about that. The nerve, Nick. She looks like she's trying to peg Espella as a witch every chance she gets. Really, I don't know how much more of this testimony I can stand. Well, you'll have to. This testimony is something definitely not right here. But what do you think, Nick? There's no way this disappearing skipper explains what actually happened. I mean, no one saw anything. How can anyone prove it was there? This is starting to get really annoying. They can talk all they want about an invisible skipper, but no way is anything slipping under my radar. I do believe that is correct, Mr. Wright. Somehow we must find a clue that can lead us to another opening. Well, yeah. But I thought pressing on the woman was the right way. I mean, after we press on this guy, we checked the woman, but it didn't work. Even though she was related to the bucket more than anyone else.
Objection!
I don't even know who to ask then. What if I continue pressing on him first? I didn't do that. Well, yeah, but... There you go. This lot probably just didn't see it happen at all. Never question a witness. What? That's what me Pappy always said. Me Pappy. Ain't a doubt in me mind. That witch put the bucket down before using the scepter. If that is indeed accurate, then it would seem we may have found our truth. Just prove it first. What do we press next? We tried old lady and
Hold it!
girl. We have two people left.
Objection!
Old guy and crazy night guy. I think crazy night guy will be the next. Because
Hang on!
he was hiding behind the shield, so now he's not. Oh, again? Tell me, what do you think about this witness's testimony just now? He claims the accused placed the bucket on the ground. No one has said anything about this until now. I am reminded of but one thing, sir. A battle tactic important to any knight. Imagine, in one hand you hold your sword, and in the other your shield. When suddenly, from the shadows, an itch of epic proportions takes to your back. What? What doth one do? Indeed, what can one do? Well, let me tell you. One must drop one's sword and fell that unholy itch with a well-timed scratch to one's back. I don't see how this is an answer to my question. Right. A crafty witch would surely use the same tactic, would she not? I call it my signature back scratch attack, or great justice. Back scratch attack. I know some people who would love that. Right. By the way, be wary when using that tactic in battle. I find my opponents rarely give me ample time to prove my armor and scratch. Okay, what? Thank you for that, Mr. Knightle. No further questions. Mr. Knightle sure takes the whole knight thing super seriously, huh? Sheesh, I guess it's back to the drawing board. Fuck! We're stuck here forever. Like, I've asked everyone already, besides the old guy.
Hold it!
I'm just supposed to start with him because I don't know. Noah, hi.
What? Hang on!
Excuse me, Mr. Wordsmith. What is it? Oh, boisterous blue one. Tell me, what do you make of this witness's testimony just now? He has stated that the defendant put the bucket on the ground. The other witnesses never mentioned that. Let me tell you something, young man. Long have I lived and prospered. In that time, I have forgotten much. Dreams, aspirations, even love. I simply forgot about that milk bucket, like one would forget about a single drop of water within the bucket that is life. Thank you for that, Mr. Wordsmith. No further. Are you kidding me? I checked everyone. I don't get it. I'm gonna save again because I checked everyone, but that didn't help me. Nola, I know you wanna sit on my lap, not now. Oh, so precious, this kitty. Oh, I have a hint. Maybe I should use a hint? Nola. Alright. Sorry, guys. She just needs to be on my lap. It's not gonna be too comfy, but... What you wouldn't do for your baby, right?
Hold it! Objection! What? Hang on!
But I already pressed her and nothing happened. Can I present? No.
Objection!
Well, she's the most doubtful here, but...
Objection!
But they stopped me and I can't even continue here. What the fuck? He says we lack the decisive evidence. Where do I get it then? Let's see. Present here. Ah, fuck. I knew that. We need to present either bucket or... It doesn't matter, I think. Right? I mean, both would hint that the bucket would be in the mud if it was put down.
Objection!
That's what I think. I thought about it, okay? I'm afraid what really happened is not quite so simple. What? What you talking about? It had only just stopped raining moments before the crime took place, I mean. As the result, the ground was very muddy. If Miss Cantabella really placed this bucket on the ground like you claimed she did, then it should be caked with mud, just like the lantern was after it fell. Yep. Well, I say that clears up your muddy testimony, wouldn't you? Well, where does he get all that beer, I guess? Hey, Barnum. What? You just gotta sit there looking pretty? Come on, give me a hand here. How? Flattery will get you nowhere, witness. Other than perhaps to the dungeon. At any rate, there is but one question we ought to ask. Why is there no mud on that bucket? To the witness with the goat, may I ask you a question? Huh? Are you talking to me? To us? Yes, you. Indeed, you admitted to the court that you returned home with a milk bucket. Illegally, I must add. My, oh my, such harsh words, Inquisitor. When you took the bucket home, you must have simply wiped the mud from the bucket, is that correct? You don't help her, please. First, and second, even if she did. Wouldn't there be left some mud there? No? She could have cleaned it. I mean, from what she used to clean the bucket. You know, now that you mention it... No way. Don't tell me. That milk bucket? Ah, that is right. I remember now. I don't know if what was in the bucket was mud, exactly, but it certainly was dirty. What else could it be? Before taking it inside with me, I remember wiping it clean with an old rag. Are you kidding me? Yeah. No, they're pretty serious. Exceptional work, Inquisitor Barnum. Right. It all makes perfect sense. See? We were right all along, weren't we, Inquisitor Barnum? I knew that sword weren't just for show, Barnum. You sliced his argument into...
Objection!
Witness. Miss Mary. What is it? You are absolutely sure there was mud stuck to this milk bucket? Oh my. Well, truth be told, I don't remember whether it was mud exactly. But I do remember cleaning the bucket off when I got home. That sucks. It would seem the defense has failed to disprove the witness's claims. Of that, we can be quite certain. Too early. Stop. Har har. That'll teach your Bluey. You got that right. Do me a favor, will ya, Gramps? I want to change me testimony just a tiny bit. Why would you want to do that? You just won, kinda. I'm cornered, so if you do that, you might actually show me some opening. Stupid man. I will allow it, only if the witness refrains from name-calling in the future. You got it, my lord. Well, all this court mumbo-jumbo has left me thirstier than a dog in the desert. Okay. That witch there was holding the stick. I even heard her say the incantation thingy. That's right, I witnessed it all.
Hold it!
Incantation? But no one knows for sure if Miss Cantabella dropped that milk bucket on the ground. Because there's no mud on it. Is that what you're saying? Hey, we went over this already. We know the goat lady wiped off that mud.
Objection!
However, Miss Mary doesn't clearly remember whether or not it was mud that was stuck on the bucket. We really don't remember, but maybe... I guess maybe there was mud on it. I mean, she couldn't hold the skipper without putting the bucket on the ground. I fucking hate these people. Please give me this definitive answer. You old dog Bluey, talk all you want, cause it ain't gonna help. You see? The five of us, we saw... Huh? We saw what that witch went and did. We saw it clear as day. Wasn't it you? Oh, hello there.
Hang on!
Excuse me, mister? Earth to Gramps? Did he... what's he doing? He always reminds me... He just reminds me of some... I don't know... some demon from Shin Megami Tensei series. Just the way he moves. Defender. When you say Gramps... No, not you. Another Grams. Of course not, Your Honor. Mr. Swordsmith, are you listening? I think he just gave away. Like, is he even alive? No? Huh? Wow, that's creepy as fuck. I heard you quite clearly the first time, young man. Well, then why didn't you answer? These ears hear all, the crackling of the fire, the whispering of the crowd, and now your voice. If that's the case, then allow me to ask you a question. You were clearly deep in thought just now. Do you have something to say about this man's testimony? Indeed so. I felt something was amiss. However, what that means I cannot say. Amiss. Witness, could you tell us what precisely was amiss with this third-rate testimony from this third-rate witness? What a burn, Barnum. 5 heads are better than 1. 10 eyeballs are better than 2. Why are these? What? As I listened to this man's testimony, I could not help but become aware of something most odd. Tonight, when the crime occurred, we all made haste to that terrible scene. The delicious scent of mid-evening dinner permeated through the air. You mean those people were set on fire? That was a delicious scent of mid-evening dinner. The shadows of those present cast through the dim light. Wow, beautiful. And yet there were but 4 figures standing in that vicinity, myself included. Could you tell me who exactly that was? Maybe that drunk man wasn't presented. 4. Hold on 1 second. You're saying that there were only 4 witnesses at the crime scene tonight? These eyes may be old, but they know what they saw. Huh. Is something the matter, Miss Mary? No, it's just that Snowy and I are trying to remember what happened at the time. I remember the flames erupting into the air. That's when Snowy and I made our mad dash to save the precious milk. And when those 2 ruffians were set ablaze, the flame filled the area with light. In that sudden flash of light, we could see that there were other people around besides ourselves. And that's when I saw them. The other people that scrambled to the scene along with us. I'm quite sure of it. There were only 4 of us there at the scene of the crime.
Objection!
Hold it, madam. This... What in blazes is going on? We have 5 witnesses on the stand all claiming to have witnessed tonight's events firsthand. That means we have 1 witness too many. Why didn't you guys tell about it before? Oi, you lot better stop speaking out of turn. I have a guess this guy is the one that's not supposed to be here. All for one and one for all. Remember, we all promised to take this witch down together, didn't we? It's not quite that simple. We saw what we saw. Well, I say it's all about the numbers. And I counted, I say. I'll have you know my counting is flawless. On nights when sleep eludes me, I can count sheep from moonrise to sunrise. 4 witnesses, 5 witnesses. What difference does it make? Things all started getting... well, it's either that drunk man or this girl that is not the witness, the real witness. I think so. Things all started getting muddled when you showed up. What the? You saying it's my fault? I was there, you fool. Didn't I just finish saying that? My testimony is strong as steel, even if it's not completely stainless. Okay, let's calm down. What is going on here? You claim the number of witnesses does not add up? I have never paid witness to such an outrageous conflict. There is but one answer to this puzzle, a single possibility. What do you mean? Without a doubt, magic must have been used at the scene of the crime. Furthermore, it would indeed appear that there were only 4 witnesses present at the scene. Well, we just have to make them sit separately without being able to hear each other, and then ask them same question that witnesses should know. And the one answering wrong should be the one who wasn't present there, right? And yet currently we are faced with 5 witnesses testifying to the court. That certainly is quite a fatal contradiction, with only one possible answer. Would you not agree, Mr. Wright? What that answer would be? The answer? It can't be. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Well, out with his supposed answer, Sir Blue Knight. What is your explanation for the current number of witnesses? One of them is the witch? What? It might be the truth. While it might seem far-fetched, the reality is actually rather simple. The real witch, and the real murderer in this case, is actually one of these 5 witnesses. Oh, at first I thought it was the wrong answer, but it actually the right one. What? Yeah, you heard me. You're telling us that the witch is amongst this group of witnesses? That are utter rubbish. There is no possible way that such a claim could be true. Why? If it's a witch. Everything is possible, isn't it? That's right. You've got a lot of nerve accusing one of us being a witch. We have told you nothing but the truth. Yet you still have the gall to bat around such an outrageous accusation. Poor Behold, as my trusty shield deflects your pity words like the pity words that they are. Okay. Inquisitor Barnum. Yes, my lord. I would like to see a sketch of the crime scene at the time of the incident. Do you have one in your possession? Yes, certainly, my lord. I have one here. I requested it from the court illustrator, just in case. Very well, witnesses. I would like each of you to mark your location at the time of the murder. Oh, this judge is super smart. I mean, seriously. Haven't seen judge that smart in these games. The number of witnesses doesn't add up. It looks like we're getting somewhere now, but we haven't even scratched the surface of this case yet. And it's all thanks to this top hat wearing gentleman. The court accepts this crime scene sketch into evidence. Area map added to the court record. If one of the witnesses is the witch, that could only mean one thing. Somebody here isn't telling the truth. You can say. That would indeed appear to be the case, Mr. Wright. Listen well, Sir Blue Knight. The path you trod now is a dangerous one. Claiming that a witch is among these most honorable witnesses is a serious accusation. Well, how is the girl not honorable? And how is that not a serious accusation? Someone has to actually answer for this after this case is over and she is claimed to be not a witch. Just saying. Should it prove to be a false one, you will find yourself at the other end of my sword. Do I make myself clear? Well then, if you are gonna be wrong, then you'll have to turn this sword all around into 180 degrees. Huh. But that wasn't so much my suggestion. Well, yeah, I mean, the gentleman here with the lovely top head was the one who urged me to say it. It is the same thing, Sir Blue Knight. Indeed, it is the same thing, Sir Baker. It is the same thing, Mr. Wright. Why, thank you, Layton. Oh boy. Now, ready your sword. Ready? Were you listening? You claim the witch is not the accused and that someone else at the crime scene was the true culprit. If what you say is true, then surely you can tell the court exactly where this person was at the time of the crime. Can you not? Huh. Interesting. The flower girl and that drunk man are in the same place. Strange. Well then. I mean, I thought it was either her or him that was the witch. But if one of them wasn't there, then second of them would notice it, right? After looking at the map. Does this mean it's neither of them? Huh. Well then, I'd say it's a goat lady. Because, you know, she's the second most suspicious person there. Come now, Sir Blue Knight, only you can enlighten us as to who this real witch actually is. Sir Duffy, Defender, Duffy? Show us where the witch was at the exact moment of the murder took place. Fuck! How am I supposed to know that? Well then, see this. If the flower girl was behind the drunk man, he could not actually see her, right? If he was looking at the crime scene. Then it would really make sense it could be her. Can I save the game just in case? So maybe I was right, it was her. Let's see. Can I actually do that? But then again, it could be this one because she's behind the bars. How could she even get to the milk and stuff. But my first guess is this one. No, wait.
Got it.
Maybe I didn't. Nah, music is still there. Probably this person, I think. Okay. You're so bad at this defender stuff, it makes me want to drink. If I may, Mr. Wright, remember that if one of these witnesses is indeed the witch, then there is a high possibility that particular witness is not telling the truth. Do dear bear that in mind. So the witch must be lying. Obviously, if that's the case, that must mean a certain person wasn't where they claim they were. That's when the witch must have cast Ignace, right? Take a look at the Grand Grimoire. We're bound to find something in there. Even if the witness is lying up a storm, whatever is inside this Grand Grimoire has to be the truth, right? I already checked it. Oh, this hurts. Oh, the location of the witch. Location of the witch. I mean, it doesn't matter where they put themselves in the map. Location of the witch can be anywhere. Was this witch?
Got it.
Am I right? But it wasn't a spell, right?
Objection.
What is the meaning of this? Unfortunately for you, that spot has absolutely nothing to do with any of these witnesses.
Objection.
Inquisitor Barnum, I suggest you try taking a look at this. Grand Grimoire. According to this tome, Ignace summons circle flames within a 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the witch had to have been within 1 meter of the flame when casting the spell.
Objection.
Of course. You needn't say any more, Sir Blue Knight. First off, notice that there is no one else in that area other than the accused. It should also be quite obvious from the sketch that there is clearly nowhere for anyone to hide.
Objection.
There are bushes. There aren't any hiding spots, however. There's one other possibility if a witch wanted to stay hidden from the sight. Most intriguing. Since you seem to love showing evidence, prove it. Back. How was the witch able to hide in plain sight? Can't save. I'm gonna use a hint. No. I can't save here. And I wouldn't want to miss. This could be, but it just proves that only Kira wouldn't be able to see. Let's use it. Okay, only Grand Grimoire. It didn't seem to... It shows present on anything.
Take that!
This Talia Magica contains 2 magic gems, Ignace, and 1 other spell. That's right, the spell Dimir. It cannot be. Oh. I mean, was that easy? She just used the spell to... But it says to anything she touches. There was most certainly a witch present at the crime scene, only they were completely invisible. All thanks to the magic spell Dimir. What foolishness is this? What are you getting at, Defender? I thought the witch used the mirror to make that Talia Magica disappear.
Objection!
Well, it works for anything she touches. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. In other words, supposing the witch were holding the staff in one hand while touching part of their body with the other, they would be able to make themselves disappear. Are you implying that this is the reason for the conflicting number of the witnesses? Indeed it is, which means witnesses. Someone amongst you is not disclosing the entire truth, and that person is the witch we seek. I believe this is the most probable scenario. Honorable witnesses, you will testify to the court one final time. Tell us exactly what you saw and what you did not see at the scene of the crime. Are you sure it's gonna be the last time? I really don't think so, but would be nice, would be nice. How absurdly absurd. The purpose of this trial is to convict that girl of the crime, is it not? That's right, we are not witches. Witnesses, I ask that you listen. There is a witch mingling among you. That's right, I'm afraid you are all no longer brothers in arms. The true opponent here is within your own group. The real witch is one of these 5 witnesses, huh? Fine by me. Time to put an end to this trial. Hopefully we can do it. You wish to know where we were all standing tonight, and matters not. Would the flames not burn just the same? That flame. I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. I heard the tiniest crime, and then, when I turned around, the blighters were roasting, so I rushed right over. I heard the incantation. Then the flame suddenly erupted. I'm certain of it. I only saw 3 people there with us. As I said, there were only 3 others present, like that man there who was stumbling around like a newborn calf. So it's most likely it's not an old guy, neither it's a goat lady, because they both claim there were 3 people besides them. So it leaves us 3 persons. A most heinous act indeed. No small wonder these witnesses are so confused. Sorry? a witch amongst the witnesses. What an utterly baseless claim. I don't think so, Barnum. The only baseless claim, in this case, is of Estella being a witch. It's more than a little likely one of these witnesses is the culprit. These testimonies are bound to tell me who the real witch is.
Hold it!
In other words, you're not exactly... What happened tonight, is that right? Defender. I fought with a burning vigor this night. I do not belittle my efforts. Right. And I does not just run away the mere sight of fire. Ha! No one even said anything about running away. If I may be perfectly straight with you, the pillar of the fire illuminated the area as it rose high into the air. There, by fire, was the witch, and including the two unfortunate knaves, I counted 3 others at the scene.
Hang on!
Excuse me, Miss Kira. Hank. What do you want? You looked like you had something to say about the testimony just now. Well, it was about the number of people at the crime scene. Have you ever played the daisy paddle game? Daisy paddle game? 1 witness, 2 witnesses, 3 witnesses, 4 witnesses, 5, 6, 8. What an adorable game. It seems like something out of a fairy tale. Seriously, Your Honor. Yeah. Anyway, you may continue your testimony, witness. Fuck. Let me press him on this for longer, maybe? There by fire was the witch, and excluding the 2 unfortunate knaves, 3 others. Hold on, sir, you cannot say that for certain. Perhaps I missed the 1 witness. Maybe they were obscured by the shield. See, that is... She was surprised by him saying that. It is her. I know she's the witch.
Hold it!
It must have been pretty terrifying, huh? Yes. It's the kind of thing you only read about in books. The moment that pillar of fire erupted, I could feel my throat tightening up. It was so difficult to breathe. I couldn't even manage to so much as scream. Quite. After all, the flames engulfed the scene in the blink of an eye. Yes, I'm sorry. That's why I can't really remember. So you can't remember the number of people at the crime scene? Naturally, that is understandable, witness. That's also why I was a little late getting to the scene compared to the others. Yeah, that's why you're standing out. And I think she's the witch.
Hold it!
The tiniest cry. It might have been someone saying the incantation for the spell. Me memory kinda hazy on that one. Scared me good though, never jumped up to me feet so fast in all me life. Nearly had a heart attack, I tell ya. Jumped up? That's right! It was still raining cats and dogs, so being the resourceful child that I am, I decided to doze under a tree for a bit. Is everything alright, Mr. Wordsmith? What is that you want this time, young one? I just wanted to know if you had any thoughts of the testimony just now. Ah, yes. Thoughts about slumbering under trees, you mean? Slumbering? I often find myself weaving the most intricate of dreams under that very tree. Of course, I could not nap tonight. Not with that uncouth man usurping my special dreaming spot, could I? Are you using this cross-examination to argue over a napping spot? Let us hope such arguments do not lead to any criminal acts in the future. Witness, please continue your testimony. We're not done with that guy though.
Hold it!
Just in case if I don't miss anything, we will just go through this one fully.
I say.
Everyone is unbelievable in this game. Okay. She heard an incantation. Which one though? Are you absolutely certain? Well, I believe so. But then, when you think about it, can anyone really be absolutely certain of anything? It worries me that you're saying that in the middle of the cross-examination. I believe the witness means that there is no way she can be certain whether there were 4 witnesses or 5 at the crime scene. Anyhow, there was a matter of the great importance that Snowy and I had to tend to. You must mean... That's right, the milk. If any soot had got into that milk, it would be the tragedy to end all tragedies.
Hang on!
Could I stop you there, mister? Mister. Whoa! Tone down the volume, Bluey. That's my line. Does anything come to mind regarding Miss Mary's testimony? Nope, not really. Nothing important anyways. Just that I think this old lady is full of it. Huh? I'm talking about the milk, man. The milk. Girl, you'll know the second you try the stuff. It ain't nothing to write home about, let me tell ya. What are you saying, you dolt? Who on earth would let you drink anything as delicious as the milk from my farm? A ruffian like you is better served by whatever unthinkable liquid is in that never-ending mug of yours. Are you guys using this cross-examination to argue over milk? They're using the cross-examination to argue over anything. Let us hope this... yeah. These guys are just not friendly anymore to each other.
Hold it!
So, including yourself, there were a total of 4 witnesses at the crime scene, correct? That is how it has come to pass. By the way, what do you mean by stumbling around like a newborn calf? Yes. That was a man as inebriated as he was loud. Quite the humorous side of was, I dare say. Whatever it means. It must mean the witness permanently glued to his cup or whatever, if it is he's drinking. When I saw the flames rise up into the sky, I wondered to myself, my word, whatever could that be? However, I could not simply walk over to check. My knees were a bit weak from shock, you see. That's when the wobbly-legged gentleman came running over. wobbly-legged gentleman? And this guy.
Hang on!
You right there. Sir Blue Knight, next time please think before trying to press this witness. Looks like this guy even managed to scare Barnum half to death. Now then, sir, about Mr. Wordsmith's testimony just now. I like how music changed right now. He claims you were stumbling around. What does he mean by that? I'm gonna set the record straight right now. In no way was I stumbling around anywhere. I'd like to think of it more like staggering with style. Staggering, right? A responsible adult should know better than to go stumbling around in the dead of night. Hey, look, I don't just go stumbling around like some clumsy idiot. I've got more sense than that. But anyway, I kinda tripped over a large stone. I mean, you don't exactly see what's on the ground in front of you when you're running at full pelt, right? And you lost your conscience or something? So you could say I put my life out on the line, proving that you really need to watch where you're going when you run. Thanks, like I didn't know about that before. How courageous of you. Someone give this guy a medal. Milord, this testimony is meaningless waste of everyone's time. Well, defender, is there a point to this particular line of questioning? Is there anything worth pursuing here? What should I do? I think it's not worth it. There's no point in wasting time. Is that so? I knew that. I must say I'm a little disappointed, huh? I just thought I noticed something. Perhaps it was just me. If you do notice something in a person's testimony, Mr. Wright, all you have to do is question them again. Again? I'm so tired of this. That's right. I should Okay.
Hold it! I say.
Yeah, already pressed on him. Yeah.
Hold it!
Nothing out of place. Well, okay.
Hold it!
The next thing I knew, he tripped over with all the grace of a grizzly bear on stilts. Responsible adult should know better. Okay. Why he stumbled? I already know. But I already knew! He told me why he stumbled. He said it was because of the boulder or something.
Hang on!
He already said that. I can't present anything, so I don't see how it's gonna help me in any way. Ah, you mean exactly in this one? I thought it was. Oh, okay. Of course, continue. The witness stated earlier that he tripped over a large stone. Mister, I have one question for you. Why weren't you watching what was in front of you? Well, to be honest with you, it ain't much of a real reason, but something suddenly caught me attention. Out of nowhere, I sort of heard someone call out my name. What's your name again? Profiles. Some guy. We don't know his name. What's your name? It must be incantation. Because I turned around when I heard it. Who wouldn't? When a woman calls your name, you pay attention, am I right? So you heard someone call out, "Hey you!" From behind, you mean? What? I said they called me out my name. How many guys do you know called "Hey you"? So what's your name? Emir. Gotcha. Demir is pretty damn close, wouldn't you say? It's not your name, man. It's incantation. And don't you forget it, Bluey, you hear me? I would say this gentleman really does not strike me as an emir. You know, Professor, it's not a very memorable name, huh? That's harsh. It's something that your parents gave to you. It's not something like... Yeah. Honorable witnesses, is there anyone among you who was aware of this man's name prior to now? Not at all. He's always just been Mr. to me. A knight's name is only as good as the name of the sword he carries. It is the first I have heard of this. I dare say I did not expect his name to be one such as Emir. I'm sorry, but I didn't know his name either. I only remember the names of my most loyal customers. Okay, it looks like absolutely no one knew this witness's name. You know, it ain't really much of a surprise to me either. So this actually tells me that he's not the culprit, because he heard the incantation Demir, confusing it with his name Emir, so it was someone else. I really think it's a flower lady. But seriously, I definitely heard someone call my name. When you get to be my age, you really start to wonder when you'll find that true love, you know. I thought that pretty voice, it was a young voice, right? And so, yeah, I think we found our witness. I thought that pretty voice tonight might have been me, sweetie. Man, you should stop drinking. You'll never find your sweetie if you don't. Your Honor, I don't believe we should be so quick to label Mr. Emir's testimony meaningless. Would you not agree? I request that the witness add this amusing anecdote to this his testimony. Yes, please. That's exactly what I want. Understood. Witness, amend your testimony, but please reflect only the important points of your story. I'm telling ya, I heard someone call me name and I was looking around trying to find them. Let me save first. Grimoire.
Objection!
Are you kidding me? No? I was too straightforward. Whoopsie doopsie. I'm gonna close the game now. Because I just saved the game. It's okay. We can do that. Capcom. No, level 5 first. Then it's Capcom, right? Whee! Okay, sorry. I don't know why I'm so excited. Press start, yes. Was I supposed to press him first? I mean, it's obvious that the mirror is something we skip. Don't need it.
Hold it!
From behind. Excuse me, Miss, Emir. Don't sweat it, Blue. Mister, hey you, it's all the same to me. You stated that you heard your name being called from behind. Are you absolutely sure about that? Well, right or wrong, it sure sounded like me name. I mean, what else could it have been? I wouldn't have remembered it happening if I hadn't heard this something, right? Still. Maybe there's a chance I just imagined it, huh? But anyway, I remember it came from somewhere behind me. From somewhere behind you. That's bizarre. Mr. Emir's memory isn't the most accurate. But if what he says is true, then there's definitely something there. Something, you say? Might you mean a contradiction? Yeah, I think so. Although, I don't know. There's just something strange about his testimony. I don't see any decisive evidence in the court record that can help. I actually think I do. Do you mean to say you have found a contradiction that can't be supported by the evidence?
Objection!
What kind of contradiction is that? My lord, this line of interrogation is complete waste of court's time. Defender, I must warn you. From here on, any unnecessary questioning will be dealt with accordingly. If I don't answer correctly here, it's curtains for the trial and for a spell. Let me see. It's just too much. I can't take the pressure. If you are intent on finding a fault in this witness's testimony, you will need to present decisive evidence to back up your claims. There's not one single piece of decisive evidence in the court record. What do I do now? Mr. Wright. Mr. Layton. I have an idea. I believe there is a weapon of sorts with which you may be able to expose this contradiction without the need of evidence. A weapon? Now, Defender, give us your answer. What do you mean, a weapon? Do I have to present a scabbard? But I think it's grimoire which we need to present. Well, it's obvious we need to find a contradiction, but there is a huge contradiction in the witness's testimony.
Objection!
Took your time, huh? What is this? You must be an even bigger fool than I thought, Sir Blue Knight. You really do not possess even a sliver of common sense, do you?
Objection!
If I may interrupt for just a moment, Inquisitor Barnum, allow me to ask you this. What need is there for common sense in the world that foregoes using it? Accordingly, I must humbly ask that you discard such a manner of thinking. Whatever do you mean? You have my utmost thanks for placing your trust in me, Mr. Wright. Let us discuss the one remaining weapon in this cross-examination. This trial has taught us a valuable new technique to be used in the courtroom, has it not? You mean questioning, right, Professor? Indeed it is, look. Each of the witnesses in this trial has given their own account of what occurred. Therefore, whenever one witness has testified, the other remaining witnesses have listened. That gives me an idea. In addition to catching a witness off guard and questioning them about another's testimony, there is one more thing. Huh? What? That's right, of course. What? Indeed, Mr. Wright, contradictions. Should one witness's testimony differ from another's testimony, then I suppose that in itself can also be considered a contradiction, can it not? Testimony contradicting testimony. I never would have thought of that until now. Enough. Sir Blue Knight, are you prepared to present to the court evidence proving the contradiction within this witness's testimony? The witness's testimony does not contradict any evidence. It contradicts a testimony. What are you talking about? It is time, Mr. Wright. Have a look at the touch screen. There you will see the testimony of the witness in question as well as those of the other witnesses. Keep your eyes peeled and identify the contradicting testimony. Alright, let's give this another shot, Nick. And make sure you don't forget to take a look at the court record too. I heard the incantation. No? Okay, let's read his first. I heard the scene, but then I ended up tripping when I heard someone call me name from behind. This guy says, you wish to know where we were all standing tonight? It matters not. Would the flames not burn? Doesn't seem to relate to anything. That flame, I never saw anything like it. It quite literally left me speechless. I couldn't even so much as scream. But she was behind. She didn't scream his name because she... Is that what contradiction?
Objection!
So, I think that's it. The person contradicting this man's testimony is none other than you, Miss Kira. That was so cool. Are you both pointing at me? At the time of the incident, that man heard someone's voice call his name. That voice belonged to you, Miss Kira. It could not have been anyone else. And yet, in your testimony, you stated that you were in such shock during tonight's events that you couldn't even speak. This is a clear contradiction.
Objection!
What? What is the meaning of this, Defender? Can you really claim to trust this sham of a witness and his sham of a testimony?
Objection!
Actually, I do. That man's character is beside the point. His testimony is anything but a sham. As he watched the flames erupt, his attention was drawn to a voice behind him, which in turn made him fall over. He heard a woman's voice calling his name. A very concrete reason, and reason enough to believe his testimony.
Objection!
If it is as you say, then explain why you feel this witness is somehow responsible. That is right. Why me? People barely hear me when I am out selling my flowers. That's how soft my voice is. And besides, there was another woman at the scene, wasn't there? Yeah, but he said the voice was young. Me? What are you getting at, young lady? Do you honestly think a woman my age would be out late at night in the forest flirting with a questionable man? Besides, I didn't even know this pathetic man's name. Poor guy. How could I have called out to him? Neither did I. And even if I did know his name, do you really think he's the kind of guy any self-respecting girl would want? Come on, ladies. I'm standing right here, you know. Oh my god. Poor guy. As I was saying, the one person that guy could have heard from behind him was you, Miss Kira. The defense wishes to present evidence to prove his claim. Evidence? To accuse a witness like this young lady here, why, this is pretty unheard of. I must warn you, Defender, if you cannot... Okay. Save, man. I think I know, it must be the map, because she's behind him on the map. Show us... Yeah, it was...
Take that!
Must be this, right? And you'll have your answer. This is the crime scene sketch. You can see the position of each witness during the crime. The only person that he could possibly have heard from behind him was none other than Miss Kira.
Objection!
Listen here, Sir Blue Knight. I will only tell you this one more time. A sham of a witness yields only a sham of a testimony. That is all there is to it. Well, if that is what you think, why this man is on the witness's stand? And so far, before this came up, you were pretty fine with his testimonies, weren't you? Shut up. Just shut up. I'm so sorry. Did you in fact see this flower girl's face? You know, now that you mention it, seeing as I'd fallen down and all, I don't think I saw her face. Okay, but you heard her voice, right? Let me think. The voice came out of nowhere. It was kinda high-pitched. And I guess it kinda sounded like her. But I can't say whether or not it was this girl's name. Voice, I mean. And there you have it, Sir Blue Knight. Such a pity. Huh? My lord, it is clear the defense's claim is nothing but a pointless waste of the court's time. I recommend you deliver unto them a penalty befitting such behavior. No. You cannot do that. Huh? What is that, laughter? Pardon me, my lord. Why would she stop that, though? She's the one, I'm sure. Why would she stop that? It looks like you've finally arrived at the decision. That means this has nothing to do with me. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum? What are you saying? I'm saying that it's time for me to stop peddling testimony and get back to peddling flowers. I mean, look at all these flowers left over. It's going to take until sunrise to sell them all if I stay here any longer. Or maybe, my lord, you and the rest of the court would be interested in buying my entire stock of flowers to help a girl out? No, I don't think. I mean, then it's settled. Now, if you'll excuse me, my apologies for the interruption. Understood. The court will dismiss the witness. Well, Miss Kira, not now. She'll stay here. It would seem you are beginning to show the court your true colors. Huh? Whatever do you mean? Okay then, everyone. It looks like that's that.
Hold it!
Wait, you can't leave yet. This cross-examination isn't over. Now, that's funny. You say it isn't over, and yet the rest of the court seems to think otherwise. Isn't that right, Inquisitor Barnum? The Inquisition maintains the real witch is the accused Spella Cantabella. This girl is nothing more than a witness. As such, the court cannot force her to stay against her will. Huh? Look at him, he looks bewitched. Or is it just me? This is bad. If they let her walk out now... Nick, do you think she could be the real witch? You really like throwing around accusations, don't you, Sir Defender? Let me spell it out for you one last time, so even you can understand. I did not know this man's name at all before today. I still don't remember it. So how could I have called out to him? Do you get it now? Now then, until we meet again, don't forget to buy some flowers on your way home, everyone.
Hold it.
I know this name, voice. One moment, please, Miss Kira. Is there something else you wanted? You don't seem to realize what you just let slip. What are you talking about? This man testified that he heard his name called at the crime scene. However, you had no knowledge of his name at the time. Is that correct? That's right. This weirdo is just imagining things. Like I said, I've already forgotten his name, even though he told it us earlier. There is just one problem, Miss Kira. Namely, what the voice he heard tonight was actually saying. Huh? What do you mean? It was incantation. I knew about that from the beginning, damn it. I mean, after he said his name. We could have settled it down a long time ago. That's obvious. It was a name, wasn't it? Now, what was that name again? Emir. My lord, I'm still here, you know. You're saying that what this man heard tonight wasn't a name, but rather something else entirely? Indeed I am, Inquisitor Barnum. Something else. Aha! There's only one other thing it could be. It's a stretch, but the possibility is there. It's not a stretch. I think it's pretty damn obvious. That's right, Mr. Wright. That single possibility is the key to solving this mystery. Let's do it today. Damn, it takes too long. Is the defense ready to present its evidence to the court? This is ridiculous. I demand you let me go this instant. Not gonna happen. Witness. What you are being accused of is not to be taken lightly. You will not leave this courtroom so long as any reasonable doubt remains. Now he also doubts, huh? It was this one, Demir.
Take that!
I've been waiting to present this evidence for so long. Excuse me, mister. Sorry, what's your name again? You've, got a name. That no one seems to be really able to remember for some reason. That's bizarre. Hey, it's Emir. My name's Emir, darn it. How many times have I gotta say it? No matter the number of times you say it, you do not look like an Emir. Again, I only remember my most loyal customers' names, and he doesn't look like he could afford even a single daisy. Come on, guys. Stop kicking a guy when he's down. Oh, Mr. Emir. What you heard tonight at the crime scene was not your name. Your name just so happens to sound exactly like a certain other name. Another name? The answer is right here in this dome. I'm talking about Amir. Amir? Wasn't it Demir? What? Never mind. What he actually heard at the time wasn't his own name. It was the name of the magical incantation. What the? Miss Kira, have you forgotten what you said just a few minutes ago? You quite clearly stated that you did know this man's name.
Objection!
So, yeah, if she did know, she couldn't. We couldn't mistake it with the name. She couldn't pronounce the name. So what is left? Incantation. That's fucking brilliant. Why am I so excited? You're saying that the Amir heard by the witness was actually said by this flower girl, and that it was not his name at all, but rather the incantation of the magic spell? The defense proposes the following. The true criminal, this supposed witch, is not the defendant, Mrs. Bella Cantabella, but instead the witness who has heard uttering magic incantation, Miss Kira. She's our witch. You use the magic to vanish from the scene and try to frame Miss Cantabella instead. Someone's gonna break. Come on, come on. No! Is that girl, is the speller really not a witch? Unbelievable! I've never heard anything like this. Inquisitor Barnum. Have those two really defeated Inquisitor Barnum?
Objection!
Wait, what? Stop. No. Shut up. An impressive display, Sir Blue Knight. It would seem you have finally managed to hone your blade. However, I believe that blade's edge is already beginning to dull. What do you mean? I am referring to contradiction, naturally. That's my line. My lord, the Inquisition would like to set the record straight regarding what transpired this evening. Very well, Inquisitor Barnum. Sir Blue Knight, you claim the following. At the time of the crime, the accused Espella Cantabella was surrounded by the two rogues. Then, in order to frame the accused as the witch, Miss Kira cast the spell Demir and made herself vanish. Ah, Amir is to appear, huh? She then moved in closer to the victims, at which point she cast Ignace, thus causing the incident seen by our 4 witnesses tonight. Indeed, that does seem to be the claim. The problem is, what happened next? There is a contradiction in the defense's account of Miss Kira's movements. Contradiction in her movements? Clear it out for us, please. Allow me to continue. You are the one who stopped. The witnesses have stated that they each ventured out towards the crime scene. Which is when Miss Kira, the witch, made her way to this point while still invisible. When she arrived at that spot and then cast a mirror and reappeared to join the other witnesses, and there you have it. That is accurate, isn't it, Sir Blue Knight? Yeah? What's wrong with that? Well then, I have but one question that I would like you to answer. Why would a witch need to do such a thing? That's another question. But it's undoubtedly what she did. Supposing Miss Kira were a witch, surely she would not have made the conscious decision to reappear when she did. One would imagine she would remain hidden and flee the crime scene. Quite right. That's what I'd do if I was a witch. Given that point, there would be no valuable reason for her to recite the incantation. In other words, it is inconceivable that this flower seller, Miss Kira, could be a witch. I don't know why she did this, but it's undoubtedly true that she did. Shut up. What?
That's right! You all heard it! It's just as Inquisitor Barnum said!
Oh, I knew she's a witch. I mean, just look at her face. Wow, she's crazy.
Me? A witch? The idea is laughable!
not good. She's completely bounced back on her feet, onto her feet. We were so close too. I can't believe Inquisitor Barnum. Can he see it? You just have to take one good look at her. It's obvious she's the real witch here. Remember, Mr. Wright, at times like this, a cool head will prevail. Mr. Layton, I'm sure you have had to fight your way out of circumstances such as this many times before. Yeah, actually I did. The situation is no different. As a defense attorney, what would you usually do at such a time? Kill myself? I mean, I really can't even imagine being a real attorney, and you know, it's such a pressure. I remember when I started playing my first Ace Attorney game, and it so happened that back in that time I had I was in a lot of stress. It was about study and also working, and I even felt kind of pressed when I played this game, because I imagined how it would be for Phoenix himself when it was his first trial in the first game. I remember I really felt pressed. It's funny because this game is not supposed to make you feel like that, I guess. But yeah, if you are a real attorney, kudos to you, man. I mean, you're doing a great job. Hopefully. Okay, let's continue. Of course, there is one thing that can get me out of a situation like this. I've got to flip this case on its head and think outside the box. Don't tell me there will be an intermission. We need to do it right now. Finish it in 5 minutes. It would seem the defense has nothing further to add. Why, of course. That's because everyone knows the truth. They know that the girl right there is the real witch. That settles it then. Go ahead and deliver your verdict, Malone.
Objection!
The situation is exactly as you described, Inquisitor Barnum. It really doesn't make much sense for the witch to have used a mirror. Regardless, the defense still maintains that Miss Kira did utter that incantation and make herself reappear. Now the question is, for what reason? If she really didn't have to use that spell, then why use it in the first place? If I can find the answer to that question, then this entire case will start to unravel. Most fascinating. Very well, allow us to hear this theory of yours. Do I have one? Tell the court why it was necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Well, we're still in the game. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. The reason... Wait! Let me say first. 12 hours into the game! Oh my god! Wow, it's half a day. The reason Miss Kira reappeared at the crime scene, of the crime, was... to give herself an alibi. No? To become a witness. Oh, is that right? Tell me, what would that alibi have been? Why would she have needed an alibi if no one could have seen her to begin with? Well, She could have become a... Would make her sense if she wanted to be a witness, to be at this court and, you know, testify against Espella. I guess it's to become a witness. What do you mean to cover her crime? Are you telling me it's wrong too? Music didn't stop, so I guess I...
Objection!
Fuck. Do not slam your hands down the desk unless you have a strong point to make. Same goes for your mouth. Don't waste your breath on such nonsense. Have a look at the number of witnesses. We already have 4 other willing witnesses. Becoming a witness on purpose would accomplish nothing. Well, she could turn the case around if she'd wanted as a witness, but just sitting there and watching the trial without being able to control it, it could be the reason. You don't know that for sure. He's absolutely right. Well then, we're reloading because I would have only one mistake left. Like, no, not an option. Okay. Guess it's to cover up her crime. I have no idea how she did it though. Can't think of any other possibility. Well, you did, actually. In parallel universes, you did. This has to be an answer. Isn't it obvious? She was trying to cover up her own crime. How did she do that now? How is that right? Tell me, why would she do that? Why? Well, just give me a minute. I'm getting to that part. That will not be necessary, Sir Blue Knight. Huh? Think about it. What would she have to hide? If no one could have seen her to begin with. You heard the good Inquisitor. No matter how you look at it, there'd be no reason for me to reappear, assuming I was the criminal, that is. Can't argue with that.
Objection.
Heard that there. Layton to the rescue. Pardon the interruption, but that's not necessarily the case. Mr. Layton. Oh, she's on the edge. Explain yourself. You have stated that Miss Kira had no reason to reappear. However, the situation changed, and it became necessary for her to show herself. Isn't that right, Miss Kira? Huh? Well, I don't know what he's talking about either. Well, what are you talking about? I have no idea what you mean. It would seem the defense must clarify their argument with evidence. What are you looking at me for? If you started it, then continue it, please, Layton. I believe that Miss Kira did not intend to reveal herself at the crime scene. Rather, that something occurred which forced this young lady to make herself reappear. What was so important that she had to reappear and risk being spotted? I have to save the game again, just in case. I have no idea. I seriously have no idea. Oh, I have hints. We can go for hint. I have lots of them, so we can save some time. Why it would have been necessary for the witch to appear at the crime scene. Appear? Well, definitely not glasses, I guess. Causes anything the caster touches to vanish from sight. Simply chant Amir to make it reappear. She probably dropped something that she made vanish first. She dropped it and couldn't find it without making it reappear, so she had to chant Amir to make what she lost appear, and also... But I have no idea what it could be. And also herself, making herself reappear. That's what I wanted to say. Maybe wear glasses? I need a hint here. I don't know what to do. Is that glasses? Like, really?
Take that!
You usually wear glasses, is that correct? Huh? There are actually a few options, I wonder. It's like I already told you, I lost my glasses a few days ago. Are you absolutely sure about that? Or did you not, in fact, lose them tonight? During the crime? So it was them she lost. But she couldn't continue running without them because she has poor sight. Wait, I don't get it. She's not in glasses right now. Perhaps you accidentally dropped them while you were committing the crime? Then, as you were attempting to make your escape, you noticed they were gone. Therefore, you made yourself reappear in order to search for your missing glasses. No!
Objection!
How absurd. Such baseless conjecture. But it actually worked. Do you see the... Did you hear the music? Music of the victor. What you propose is fundamentally flawed. How? Let us assume, hypothetically, that the witch did in fact draw this evidence. That does not explain that purpose it would serve for her to make herself reappear. It would still make more sense for her to escape under cover of darkness. No, it wouldn't. Unfortunately, Inquisitor Barnum, such a plan was simply not possible. Mr. Wright, do you understand what I'm suggesting? I think so, I'm not sure actually. He means the reason Miss Kira made herself reappear at the crime scene. Okay, this is it. I have no idea. I'm so lost in this game, saving every damn second. I don't think we're even close to the end though. Defender, enlighten us. Why did the witness feel the need to make herself reappear? Someone found her glasses? She couldn't find her glasses, she broke her glasses. Broke? I don't think... Why would she reappear then? She couldn't find her glasses. Because they were invisible. She could not find them. If you've noticed, she's still not wearing her glasses right now.
Objection!
Hold a moment, Sir Blue Knight. What does that have to do with anything? That's right. It doesn't change a single thing.
Objection!
It does. That's where you're wrong. In fact, it changes things quite a bit. Tonight, the two victims were engulfed by flames courtesy of a magic spell. That very instant, 4 witnesses saw the flames erupt at the scene. It was at that point that something you didn't expect occurred. You suddenly lost your glasses. That's right. You were scared that if your glasses were discovered at the scene of the crime, you would be suspected of being a witch.
Objection!
What foolishness. Even if her glasses were found, she could simply have explained that she dropped them there days before the crime happened.
Objection!
I'm afraid that is not a possibility, Inquisitor Barnum. What did you say? If you recall, it had been raining quite heavily at the crime scene beforehand. Had she stated that she dropped her glasses before the crime, then naturally, one would expect the glasses to be soaked in water and covered in mud. However, the rain had already stopped at the time of the crime itself was committed. In other words, then why the lamp is all muddy? Never mind. One look at the pair of clean, dry glasses would reveal she had dropped them later, thus implicating her as the witch. No! I should have known. I was perfecting my rainfall rending technique in the forest. And not once during the rainfall did I see that flower maiden traveling along the nearby path. That's not all. In order to frame Miss Cantabella as the witch, you needed to leave this witch's scepter behind at the scene of crime. I see. That would be the most definitive evidence that she is the witch. The objective here was to have somebody else discover the stuff at the scene. Alas, that person was I. However, no doubt you came to realize that one can deduce which spells were used simply by examining the magic gems on the scepter. In this case, one can see that the witch must have used the mirror to vanish from sight and make her escape. That's why, Miss Kira, you were left with no option but to reappear at the crime scene. That was the only way for you to avoid suspicion if someone were to discover your glasses at the crime scene. By reappearing, you'd be able to explain that you simply dropped your glasses when you rushed to see what had happened. Oh, damn it, so cool. What do you have to say to this, Miss Kira?
You know, I've let you both ramble on and on, but playtime is over.
What do you mean?
So that's it, then? I'm a witch because I dropped my glasses? I must have said it how many times now? I lost my glasses days ago. Were you even listening? I'll say it again.
But we already
Over
proved it's not right.
times. I lost my glasses, I lost my glasses. Do you like evidence, Sir Defender? Do you love proof, Sir Top Hat? Then prove I dropped my glasses at the crime scene. Ha! You can't prove it. In other words, you lose.
What a witch. You just can't be serious right now. Here I thought it's over. Here I really thought it's over. Of course it's not over, damn it. That is correct. Proving such a thing would indeed be impossible. To prove that the witness dropped her glasses at the crime scene? What say you, Inquisitor Barnum? 'Tis indeed a question of proof, my lord. These glasses have been missing from the very beginning. The Knights of the Inquisition found no trace of these glasses anywhere near the crime scene. Therefore, this witness cannot in any way be accused of being a witch. You heard the man. But we were so close. That girl is a witch. Can't anyone else see that? What should we do, Professor? Well, it would seem the young lady has finished what she had to say, wouldn't you agree, Mr. Wright? Yes, it certainly looks that way, Mr. Layton. What the... What's with that face? Do you find something funny here? It is as you said, Inquisitor Barnum. Explain. The defense raises just one further question. Why were you unable to find those glasses? What do you mean? You must have searched the area quite thoroughly, looking for them. And yet, even now the Knights have been unable to locate those glasses. Did you ever wonder why? Yes, that has become quite a mystery. Surely they must be around somewhere. The glasses were lost to the wolves. That is the only explanation. Wolves. There is still one remaining place that you have not searched tonight. It's where her flowers are in. No? What did you say? The glasses were supposedly not found at the crime scene, leaving only one other possible place. What is this, you two? Have it you, Sir Blue Knight, draw your blade and reveal to the court where the glasses are supposedly hiding. It looks like I've somehow managed to make it through my first witch trial. It all comes down to this, the final piece of evidence. Time to clear up this case once and for all. I leave the rest to your capable hands, Mr. Wright. The piece of evidence pointing to the one... What? Bucket of milk! What? I mean, really? It could be. Or some guys.
Take that!
Tonight, there was one thing that was carried away from the crime scene right under everyone's noses. Carried away? I am speaking of course, about this. That's the milk bucket that disappeared from the crime scene. Thus far, the defense's claim that the glasses were dropped at the crime scene has been regarded as mere speculation. However, if Miss Kira, we find your glasses within the contents of this milk bucket, then our mere speculation will suddenly become fact. Take this. What manner of witchery? What are you talking about? You are crazy, just crazy. No way could my glasses be inside that stupid bucket. That's just impossible. How about we quit with the speculation and actually find out? What do you say, Inquisitor Barnum? That's just waste of court's time. Don't listen to them, don't. It is mandated that the Knights of the Inquisition investigate any and all possibilities during the course of the trial. Lord, the Inquisition requests that this milk bucket be searched immediately. Well, very well. Oh. What? 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 That was fast. Miss Kira, as you can see, your glasses have been found inside the milk bucket. The truth is out. Nothing you can say can change that now. Which leads us to the next question. Specifically a question of when. When did you drop your glasses into the milk bucket? What? Why is this happening? This whole thing is ridiculous. The answer is obvious, isn't it? I dropped them afterwards, after I ran over to see the fire. Why would you do that? I took a tiny peek inside that milk bucket. That's when they fell in.
Objection!
Don't be stupid, child. Snowy and I were at the scene first. We made sure to take that milk bucket before anyone else could get their grubby little hands on it. We weren't going to let a single soul get anywhere near that sweet, creamy bucket of deliciousness. You can bet my farm on that. Each of these 4 witnesses has stated they heard the spell Ignace being cast at the time of the incident. According to the Grand Grimoire, Ignace summons a circle of flame within 1 meter radius of the caster. In other words, the real witch must have been at Miss Cantabella's side at the time of the incident. Indeed, that is when the glasses fell into the milk bucket. Therefore, there is only one logical conclusion. Only one person who could be the true witch. Is she taking a shit there?
Miss Kira, you are the real witch.
So cool. Well, it was nice. Till it lasted. Damn, aren't they gonna kill her? That's crazy. What a very strange trial this has been. From the very beginning, we have all paid witness to a most unusual set of circumstances. A baker turned defender, a surprise extra witness, and now a not guilty verdict for the accused. So, Mr. Barnum, I remember you were telling me that if I was not true by accusing this witness, you would basically kill me with your sword. But you were, in turn, accusing a poor Miss Cantabella. So aren't you supposed to die now? Just saying. Never have I seen such a spectacle. Is this really happening? The girl inside the cage? You mean she's the real witch? But what about that Espella Cantabella girl?
Miss Kira.
Yeah, that's the face of someone who realizes she's gonna die.
Tell us why. Why were you trying to frame Miss Cantabella?
You could easily have escaped the crime scene without a trace. There was no reason to frame anyone. This crime was a result of nothing but your overwhelming ill intent.
To frame a person as a witch is to condemn that person to death by fire. Surely you must know this. So why Espella Cantabella?
Maybe she planned it in the first place.
Do you have any idea what it feels like to be a witch?
What it feels like?
I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask for these powers, but I have them. And now here I am, begging for my life. I was living such a peaceful life until now. Selling flowers, getting scolded by my boss for not selling enough of them. That's why I was trying to put an end to these trials once and for all.
What? Trying to put an end to these trials? How was that supposed to end anything? They would just kill this girl and then continue with the next trials. This makes no sense, girl.
Put an end to the trials.
You all know what I mean?
No.
The one condition written in the story that will end these witch trials.
The one... Oh. What's that? If
When
normal
the great witch
person
Bezella
will be...
has been put to the flames and vanquished from this world, these trials will come to an end.
But she's not Bezella.
This was my chance to finally end all this. At least that's what I thought. The sun had begun to set on that lonely forest path, and there wasn't a soul in sight. I always carried my hidden Telea Magica with me in case of a moment like this.
Magica. Okay.
I used my magic to expose that girl for what she really is. If I had been successful, then all these trials would finally end and I could go on living my peaceful life.
What? What are you saying? Am I hearing this correctly? Are you actually accusing Espella Cantabella?
Oh, please. Please, no.
Why do you think no one has ever seen the legendary Great Witch? It's because she's been hidden in our midst the entire time. She's protected. She's hidden from us. It's all part of the story.
Part of the story?
Objection! That's enough! Speak no more. A witch's existence cannot be justified.
No, please! I know you've all noticed it too! You could end this! All of this! That girl! It's all because of that girl! I beg you! Please! Please release me! Knights of the Court! Isn't it your duty to protect the people of this town? Give me another chance!
That is where you're wrong. Tis indeed a knight's duty to protect. We are impelled to protect the citizens of Labyrinthia against you and your ilk. The reason you were offered my protection until now was because your guilt was uncertain. There was the possibility that you were not a witch. The circumstances were such that it seemed another was guilty. That possibility has since disappeared, and your innocence along with it. You now find yourself at the other end of my sword.
No!
Vile witch, enemy of Labyrinthia, may the fires purge you from this land.
Hold it! Please, wait! Stop! Please, just stop this!
Espella!
If it means putting an end to these horrible trials, let me take her place. Let me be Bezella. Send me to the flames.
How's that supposed to actually help anything?
Please, if it would save her life.
This trial has proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that this flower seller, Kira, is a witch. And according to the law, all those found to be witches will be executed.
Did he say executed? He can't mean...
Guys, it was... I mean, when we entered the courtroom, they actually killed the girl right in front of us. When they were ending previous trial, so... Why are you so surprised?
This is most unsettling.
That is true.
Ready the fire.
No!
No! Don't do this!
Huh? Listen to me! Don't let her fool you! Isabella is the Great Witch! Hear me! There's no time to waste! She's Brazilla! Take her! And then these witch trolls will be no more! The witch trolls will end...
Oh my god. They actually did it. That is insane. Oh my god. Can Isabella really be the Great Witch? Her name does sound similar to Great Witch's name. So far, we have always managed to pull off a win and get a not guilty verdict, but winning has never felt this depressing. Oh, Isabella, are you alright? Yes, I just wanted to thank you, all of you. You all came to my rescue yet again. Well, yeah, of course we did. Hold on a sec, Isabella. What did you say just now? You all came to my rescue yet again? You don't mean... Yes, I remember everything. I remember the last trial. I suppose that makes the second time we've met, and the second time all of you have helped me. Mr. Wright, am I to infer that you and Isabella have met before? Yeah. It seems that way. You too, Mr. Layton? Perhaps it would be best if we briefed each other on what has transpired. Okay, what should we discuss? Isabella paid us a visit in London. She had in her possession a letter from an old acquaintance of mine. Is that right? Mr. Accidenti, I already don't remember, helped drive Isabella straight out of Labyrinthia. You both kept me safe from the witches that were chasing me. Wait, did you say witches? So they appeared in London too? Regrettably, I am unable to say that our protection was absolute. When we saw you last, it seemed you'd managed to escape courtesy of that passing freighter. Oh yeah, that's right. What happened to you later after that, Isabella? I rowed the ship along the river for a while before arriving at the nearby port, and then... That's when I met Mr. Wright and Maya. I didn't know where the ship would end up. I felt very lonely out there. No, stop. Oh my god, this cat is crazy. What are you doing? Don't be crazy. Sorry. She's just, yeah, running around. Please accept my sincerest apologies. I'm afraid there was nothing else I could do to prevent it. No. Please don't blame yourself, Mr. Layton. I just didn't know what to do, so I tried to look for anything on the ship that might help me. Boy, you were sure found something, alright? Or rather, someone. You ran into a master thief working as part of the ship's crew. Yes, that's right. Did you say master thief? Creaky? That's amazing. I wouldn't exactly say it was amazing. After that, I was taken to court, and that's when Mr. Wright helped me. I see. Then perhaps, somewhere deep within your mind, must have existed the memory of that previous trial and of Mr. Wright. Hence, why you thought to seek out his help when you found yourself in such an unfortunate situation this evening. That makes sense. After all, Nick did make legal history that day in jolly old England. Did you say he made history? Wow, that's incredible, right, Professor? I wouldn't exactly say I made history. But then, after that, I was never able to find my way back to the professor. Even after I went through the pains of finding the clue, it ended up being taken away from me. A clue, you say? Yes, the tag that was hanging around the neck of that sweet little stuffed toy. That tag was a clue? A clue for what? You don't remember? I had a lot of time to think while I was on that ship. I thought about a lot of things, like how to try and find a way back once the ship arrived at its destination, things like that. Find a way back. A way back to Mr. Layton and Luke. They were the only ones I knew I could depend on to help me. The pleasure way was ours as well. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't remember the name of the town where they lived. Huh? You mean London, Espella? Oh, that's it, London. That's what was written in Carmina's letter to Mr. Layton. The blue teddy bear I found in that room was wearing a tag around its neck. Sorry, Spella, but PC Badger looks nothing like a teddy bear. On the tag, in very small letters, was written London. I recognized the name of the town. I thought it might be an address. That's because that stuffed toy was used in a special promotion run by the London Metropolitan Police. Oh, that's right. Espella, you must have known that address was super important, so that's why you kept the tag, right? That way you could meet up with Mr. Layton and Luke again. I just felt so lonely and helpless. I wonder though, who do you think really did it? Hit Olivia over the head with a pipe, I mean. What's this? Oh yeah, I guess we never did find out who the real culprit was. I do believe that may have some connection to the group of witches. What? You mean the witches that were chasing us through the London? Indeed. It could be that they noticed your escape onto the ship and managed to infiltrate their own way aboard. Could it be? So, you're saying there was some pig, scary witch lurking around around the inside of that cargo hold? I'm afraid there is a rather high possibility that was the case. Those witches were intent on seeing you brought back to Labyrinthia no matter what. However, in order to do so, they had to make certain you did not become entangled in any situation that may stall your capture. In other words, the situation with Miss Aldente, you mean? Aldente. Precisely. They must have knocked that crew member unconscious and attempted to recapture Espella before the police could arrive. However, their plan was clearly foiled, given that you ended up in the court regardless. Or maybe that's what they planned. And that's when she became my client. I mean, it's not the first time she's under the trial, so I just can't clearly remember anything that happened back then. Do you think there's a possibility that someone was putting a spell's strings through the entire trial? Hey, maybe you're right. There was something a little strange about Spella at the time. Yeah. She was enchanted. Mr. Wright. Spella was introduced to you at the time as the schoolgirl, is that correct? Yes. She would have had no knowledge of the world outside of Labyrinthia. That being the case, having her stand in an English courtroom as she was would pose a serious problem. Meaning that someone must have been attempting to cover up Spella's identity. What? But Professor, could someone really do that? That they could indeed, Luke. And if it is, as I suspect, I believe our adversaries may be far more powerful than we originally thought. Just exactly who or what are we dealing with here? Witches? Hey guys, let's head back to the bakery for now. I bet the boss is waiting for us for one heck of a pastry feast. Yeah, we were eating just before the trial, so why not continue that? Oh, actually I can't go home just yet. Why so? You can't? Oh. Well, there are still a couple of legal procedures to be taken care of before I can go home. Please, you'll go on ahead without me. Is that so? Very well. Shouldn't we wait for her? I really must thank you all. Thank you so much for everything. Alrighty then, Spella. We'll catch you later. Yes. Farewell for now. Mr. Wright, please allow me the pleasure of the proper introduction. My name is Herschel Layton. I am professor of archaeology in London and my tongue is broken. Professor? Huh? Well, my name is Phoenix Wright. I am an attorney and a baker. As I suspected, you were no ordinary baker after all, Mr. Wright. Yeah, I thought it was pretty weird myself, to be honest. I mean, I really did believe I'd been a baker all my life. The more everyone kept saying it, the less sure I was that it was actually true. Just where did that memory come from anyway? Hey, Professor, if Mr. Wright isn't an attorney, that must mean he's as smart as you, right? Well, yeah. Kinda. I'm afraid I can't really say, Luke. That's an answer of a true gentleman. But... behind every ace attorney there is an even smarter, not to mention beautiful, witty, and utterly amazing ace assistant. I love Maya. I think you also forgot humble. My name's Luke Triton. I am the Professor Apprentice. I'm Maya Fey. And Nick here is my apprentice. Isn't that right, Nicky boy? Nicky boy. Hey, wait. Why am I your apprentice? Anyway, we should all head back to the bakery. Let's get a move on. I'm sure Spella will be back before we know it. I would not get your hopes up about that, Sir Blue Knight. What the hell? Most impressive work tonight. Just a shame you have kept such ability hidden until now. Trust me, Nick's lawyer ability So, beat the pants off his bacon abilities any day of the week. Okay, moving on. What do you mean by that, Inquisitor? Why can't Espella go home? New charges have been brought against Miss Espella Cantabella. You kidding me? This girl. Just let her die, really. Seriously, this is going on forever. It can't be right. You have realized it, haven't you? She is being charged under suspicion of being the Great Witch Bezella. How the fuck am I supposed to prove that's wrong? So, to put someone under the trial, all you have to do is just say he's a witch, she's a... You know what? I can say you're a witch. So... put him under the trial. Am I to assume that charge is based purely on Miss Kira's accusation? It was not I who made the decision. Regardless, the girl will return to court at the appointed time to further trial. Until then, I am to seek out any and all evidence pertaining to the Great Witch. Perfect. Pardon me, Inquisitor. When exactly is this appointed time? The investigation into this allegation will conclude on the day of the storyteller's next parade. That would be 2 weeks from today. Following our investigations into the matter, the trial of the Great Witch shall proceed. Are we gonna investigate? I'm missing investigations. It would appear the girl has been withholding a dark secret from you all. Espella. Espella Cantabella's questioning is set to begin shortly. That means visiting hours are over. I recommend you leave immediately. Espella, the legendary Great Witch Bezella? A story that dictates the fate of an entire town. And now a so-called Great Witch named Bezella. Most intriguing. It would seem to be up to us to uncover the answers of these mysteries. But how are we supposed to manage it all in 2 weeks? Where are we going to find any evidence? You know, I was thinking, how do you address a Great Witch? Hail to thee, oh magnificent, magical one. Or maybe just, what's up, witchy baby? What difference would it make? She's called a Great Witch. That's not someone I'd ever want to meet. I believe I've thought of the solution to our problem. It's actually rather simple. Allow me to explain, Mr. Wright. The only way we may be able to solve the mysteries of this town and its residents is if we join forces. Huh? We've come this far. There's no way we're just going to give up on Espella. Okay, I'm on board. I look forward to teaming up with you, Professor. Me too, Luke. Me too, Maya. Now then, shall we press on? This marks the beginning of our own story. One dictated by ourselves and written by our own hands. Well, damn. That's been almost 3 hours. I can't fucking believe it. Ah, you get more picarets for that. Okay. Do I get a chance to save the game? Yeah, thank you very much. Well then, it calls for this. I mean, 3 hours, damn it. Every damn second in this game, I always expect it to end, but next turn, and then even after the trial is over, then you can't stop talking. Oh, well then. I mean, seriously, this girl, is it gonna be like, what, third trial over her? I don't even know. Should we just give up on her? Seriously, she's just not worth all the trouble. No, I guess we'll continue. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a great day, and I hope to see you in the next part, where we are gonna see if she's a great witch, because I actually had thoughts about this in the previous part. So I'm kinda curious, what if? But since we are actually protecting her, I don't think she is. Or maybe she is, but she's a good witch, or something like that. Anyway, it's just a speculation of mine. Yeah. Bye.